following 13.1 section 13.1 December 2024, in which case was a registered society held to be an authority for the purpose of Article 12. Ajay Hasia versus Khalda Mujji. Say held to be an authority for the purpose of Article 12. Ajay Hasia, which of the state did the Supreme Court of India held that fundamental rights cannot be waived? BSA versus IT Commissioners. By which of the Constitutional Amendment was Clause 4B? Clause 4B. Actual Clause 4 inserted into Article 16, 81. By which Constitutional Amendment was Clause inserted into Article 16? Which Constitutional Amendment was Clause? Which of the following? In which case did the Supreme Court of India held that fundamental rights cannot be waived? BSA versus IT Commissioner. Waived. The court held decide whether someone can waive fundamental rights under the Constitution. It held that the doctrine of waiver is grounded on the principle that the rights for benefit of an individual can be waived by him. All rights created by the Constitution, transcendental in nature, conceived and enacted in national and public interest, therefore cannot be waived. Which of the constitutional which constitutional amendment was BSA? Clause 4B inserted into Article 16. Which constitutional amendment was Clause 4B? 81. Constitutional amendment was Clause 4B inserted into Article 16. 81. Following statement is correct about 106 Constitutional Amendment Act. 106 Amendment 106 Constitutional Amendment withdrawn. The Parliament enact the Fair Housing Act 2024, which includes the following provision. Fair Housing Act 2024. The Parliament enact the Fair Housing Act 2024, which includes a citizen challenges Section 10, arguing that it violates the right to privacy under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. The Supreme Court declares Section 10 unconstitutional but upholds other provisions of the law. A citizen challenges Section 10, right to privacy under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. Court declares Section 10 unconstitutional but upholds the other provision of law. The reports of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India relating to account of a state shall be submitted to a governor. The report of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India relating to the account of a state shall be submitted to the account of a state governor. The accounts of state shall be submitted to governor. Auditor General. Center to President Accounts of state shall be submitted. Which of the following article of the Constitution India declares that the Supreme Court shall be a court of record? 129. Supreme Court shall be court of record. 129. Court of records, but this expression is dual organ. Which article deals with the powers, privileges and immunities of Parliament and its members? 105. Powers, privileges and immunities of Parliament. 105. Which Constitutional Amendment Act inserted provision related to GST 101? Which article deals with the powers, privileges and immunity of the Parliament? 105. Which can initiate an impeachment proceeding against the President of India? Either House of Parliament. Article 56 of the Constitution of India provides that the President may be, for violation of the Constitution, removed from office. 56. Now the process impeachment has been detailed under the Article 61. Charge on be preferred by either House of Parliament. Either House of the Parliament. भारतीय न्याय संहिता 2023 considered force to be criminal force. न्याय संहिता when it is used to intentionally without consent, causing injury, fear or annoyance. Criminal force. According to भारतीय न्याय संहिता, under the CPC, when section of the CPC allows for the appeal from original decrees, section 96. This section of CPC allows for the appeal from original decrees, section 96. Original decree, section 96. Under the CPC, what is the maximum time limit for filing a written statement in a suit? Filing a written statement in a suit, 90 days. Original decrees, section 96. Which section of the CPC provides exemption of the President of India and the Governor of the State from personal appearance in court? 133. Civil Procedure Code, Procedure 1908. Dignitaries who shall be entitled to exemption from personal appearance in court. Any person claiming this exemption has to be examined on commission. Examined on commission. Commissioned. First such commission have to be borne by the person. Which is term used for court's power to transfer a case from one court to another under the Code of Civil Procedure Code? Transfer of suit. 133. Exemption of the President of India and Governor of State, personal appearance. Under which order of the CPC summary suit is provided? Order XXX VIA. Which section of the CPC deals with the principle of res judicata? Section 11. Section 11, res judicata. Dash CPC provides for an interpleader suit. Section 88. Interpleader suit.